Welcome to this video where I'm going to show you how you can go from an idea to an MVP in under 3 hours without having any experience in coding whatsoever. And this is not a no-code tutorial. We're going to be using GPT-Pilot in order to code for us. So I'm going to show you exactly step by step how you can go from your idea to having a database and a payment provider with a front end for access to whatever tool you want to sell. Okay. Now, this is a huge business right now. SaaS is absolutely crazy. Everyone is doing this right now. But the most common method is no code, which, to be honest with you, I don't really like no code. I've never used no code except Zapier, maybe. I'm just not a fan. I would rather, have full ability to code things. That is where GPT Pilot comes in. I have zero experience. Well, I have a couple of years experience with programming, but I cannot code. Okay. So I cannot write syntax. I cannot do any of that. Now, I do understand the basics of programming. I understand how things work, but I've learned a lot, and I mean a lot, in the last few weeks. I got distracted there. I didn't realize that I've been using this tool wrong the entire time. Oh, this is Docker, that's why. I still don't really get Docker. Anyway, let's just continue. So, the first thing we want to set up is MongoDB. Now, this is actually much simpler than it looks. All you do is click sign in right here on mongodb.com. And this is a skill that you will thank me for forever. Being able to database easily is really, really nice. I'll tell you that for free. Okay, so we're signing in here. You don't actually have to make an account because it has OAuth, so just use Google. And then you want to click on create a deployment right here. Just look for create a deployment or create your first cluster. And then scroll down. Oh, sorry, make sure it's on shared. Scroll down. Make sure it's on 0, which means you're not paying anything, so it's free forever. And then just press create cluster. Now, obviously, I don't have to do that because I've already done it. And then bottom left here, you want to click on under security, you want to click on quick start, and you want to give yourself a username and a password, like a really simple password for now, just because, you're kind of playing with stuff. And then you also want to add my current IP address to the whitelist, which means you can actually access the database. Once that is done, just click on database on the left here, and then you're looking for the big connect button. Click on connect, and then click on compass. This took me 10 hours to work out, so I'm really doing you guys a favor. This video so far has taken 7 hours to make because I've started it again and again and again because I want to have it absolutely perfect. So click on I don't have MongoDB Compass installed, download it for your system. Once it's downloaded, click on I have MongoDB installed, and then just press copy on this connection string. Once you've done that, open MongoDB Compass, like this, and then where the URI is, click here, and then you want to delete the chevrons and password, and then write your password, and then click out of that, and it will be replaced with stars, and then just press connect here, and you'll see that I am now connected. Please ignore the names of my databases and files and everything, guys. I've been having a lot of trouble with these things. Okay, I'm giving you the easy steps, all of the shortcuts, the ways. I'm saving you like tens of hours here in this video. Okay, just this Stripe thing alone took me 20 hours. Okay, the MongoDB stuff 10 to 15 hours. You've already got it set up there. Okay, once you've got this screen and it says cluster blah blah blah, and there's a little copy button, copy connection string, you're done. Okay, you can now close MongoDB, and we're going to go over to dashboard.stripe.com/test, or just activate test mode here. Now, obviously, all of this is test stuff, guys, so none of this is, important or anything like that. There's no data. All of this data is fake. So let's just click on developers here. Now, click on API keys, and I want you to save your public API key and your secret key. You're going to have to start building a notepad out. So just save that information in a notepad for now. And then once you've got that, click on webhooks. Once you're on webhooks, you can see this is actually they're both disconnected now, which is kind of weird. That should not be the case for the laptop. I can see on my right here that oh, there we go. It is actually running. Okay. Okay, so what we want to do on this screen is we want to add a local listener. Okay, now this is just for testing purposes, obviously. So click on download the CLI. Now this is kind of an annoying bit, but if you're on Windows, just follow what I do. If you're on something else, then it's probably easy as shit, but Windows is just, I don't know what the hell is wrong with Windows. So download from here, scroll down. I just download this one. I've got no idea why. And then show in folder, extract it. And then once it's here, right click this like thing, the installer, but it's not the installer. I don't really know what's going on. Never mind, you don't have to right click that. Right click here, copy address as text, and then hit the Windows key, type in environment, or just enviro or something. Click environment variables, click on path, double click path, new, Control V to paste that we copied before. Press OK, press OK, press OK. And now we can connect. Okay, so that is now done. Once you've done that, just press copy on this one here, and it should say completed here. I know this says completed already because it's open somewhere on my computer. I just can't find it right now. So copy this. First of all, go on a run and click and type Stripe login. You'll be given like a dashboard link to go to. So just go to that link and then just press allow. And then just do the same thing here. Stripe listen forward to blah, blah, blah. Again, I'm not showing this because I think there's sensitive data there. I'm not 100% sure, but you'll have something that says something like this. Your webhook signing secret is WHSEC and then a long number. Put that in with your secret keys and everything else, and let's start building a prompt. So just pretend my secret keys are here, like I told you to do before. So you should have the WHSEC. You should have your MongoDB URI. So to get that, again, just click these three dots, copy connection string, put it in that notepad as well. I'm not going to put it here because it has sensitive information. And then secret key, and then public secret key should also be in here. Okay, so that is part of my prompt. So here are my environment variables. Okay, so let's start building the prompt for GPT-pilot. One of the things we're going to have to give it is this, which is the Stripe node library on GitHub. Trust me, it's not worth letting it try to do this kind of coding on its own. It will get the syntax wrong. Everything will be wrong. It's really annoying. Just trust me. So copy this and say, this is the Stripe node documentation. Spelled that wrong, doesn't matter. And then go on console.anthropic.com or OpenAI or whatever the hell you're using for the content generation, or whatever APIs you need, whatever documentation you think it won't know. So on here, we're going to click Explore Documentation, and I'm going to look on API reference, click on Messages here, and then open up the JavaScript one, and then I'm just going to put all of this inside. Oops, I didn't mean to click that. So we'll copy like that, and we'll say, here's the Claude documentation. Okay. And then let's build a simple but very, very clear prompt. Now, the best way to do this is to give it steps. So step 1, create a pricing page which is connected to the Stripe account. To my Stripe account, you can find my Stripe environment details below. So actually, no, this is step 2. Sorry. Step 1 is create a... We can probably mix these two together. I'll just put this after though. So create a authorization process of creating an account with an email, a username, and a password, which should all be passed onto Stripe. Stripe also needs to be set up so that users who have purchased a subscription can use my tool. Also create a pricing page, which is connected to my Stripe account. You can see my Stripe environment details below. Okay, step 2. Implement a dashboard with a settings page or a settings part. What else could go in there? A business information part. Your, I don't know, internal links to include, and your products. That could actually work pretty well, to be fair. That's probably pretty good. I'm trying to make my tool at the same time on my laptop, and it's all going to be integrated. But I kind of like the idea of that. So step 3, implement an auto blogger which takes the information from the dashboard and a keyword input and writes contextual articles. Step 4. By the way, guys, we've been well, not live, but I've been doing this for only 20 minutes so far. So let's see how long it actually takes me to get all of what I'm showing you. Okay. Now, I think it's going to take less than an hour or maybe less than 2 hours, but we shall see. And writes contextual articles. And then step 4, have a page that shows the content and allows them to edit it, download it, etc. Now, this one here might cause problems, so if by the end of this video this page isn't done, I'm just going to sack it off because it's not even that important. I'm going to now set up GPT-pilot, and I'm going to put my environment variables in here, so just give me a second. Make sure that you also have your product from Stripe. I'm not sure if I explained that in this particular version of this video, but it's not particularly complicated. Just click product catalog, make a product on the test one, and then just get the API ID right here. It's really, really simple, guys. Okay, I'm getting super cheesed off with making this video. This thing with secret keys and things is driving me absolutely bloody insane. But I'll have to blur that out, and let's just get on with this. So, let's follow the instructions here. Now, I could use Docker, but I'm not going to bother using Docker. So I'll just start this from a fresh Visual Studio Code. And we'll copy the git clone, and we'll call this video plus. Okay, and then we'll cd into video plus. And we will create the virtual environment. If you do not have VM already, please install, do pip install python-vm, I think it is. I'm not exactly sure what it is exactly, but you can look that up. It's pretty easy to find. So we're now creating the virtual environment, and then we have to activate the virtual environment. This probably won't work yet because running scripts is disabled. So let's just scroll up and set the execution policy like that. I'll leave these commands in the description if I remember. And then let's do pip install our requirements.txt. So that's now installing all of the requirements. And then while we're here, we actually need to open the folder. So video, please, we'll select this. I knew that was going to happen. So now I have to do that again. That's so annoying. I hate Windows. Windows is literally terrible. So now we have to run that again because we just quit out because we just started a new, we just opened a new folder. I don't know why it does that, but yeah, it is what it is. Patience is a virtue. This shouldn't take too long. Should be done around now. So what we need to do, we can do that while that's doing that. Just search for env up here, env, and look for env.example. This is where you have to set your your OpenAI API key, etc., etc. Now, you can use Anthropic. The only thing I'll say is at the moment, it doesn't work that well. I don't think they've properly prompted it, or like negative prompted it, because a lot of the files have like, here is the rest of the file with all the correct content, blah, 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 written at the top, which is obviously not ideal for coding. So instead, I recommend for now at least just sticking with OpenAI and the playground, not the playground, the AI API. So click on API keys. Let's just grab one real quick. Delete. Scroll down, create a new key, call it anything. I'll just delete the secret key at the end of the video. It's fine. So yeah, just paste it here. We're going to be using GPT for preview. Sure, why not? If we now cd pilot, oh, we need to rename this first. Sorry. So rename to just .env and then cd pilot and then python main.py. Should just work. There shouldn't be any errors here. Perfect. Start a new project. What is the project name? A New Hope. Don't ask me why it's called that. Now take your big prompt from before that you've got in the notepad and just press Control V. You'll see a pop-up that says, do you really want to paste 750 lines of text into the terminal? Just say yes, and then we're going to hit enter. So what it does first is it just plans everything, just works through everything. So it has to do node version. I'm going to show you a little trick here with this tool. So yeah, we'll go through this. I just need to make sure it's got everything. So it has Stripe, perfect. It has, well, obviously it has Node.js, Express, perfect. And it doesn't actually mention Anthropic, which is okay. Normally it does mention Anthropic, but so the first one is, do you have Node installed? Yes, I do. You do not need this at all, okay? You can just say no for the Mongosh one, okay? And then just press enter. The reason is that we're already connected through the URI through this, so there's no need, basically. So one thing that I should explain that took me ages and ages to find out is the name that you put at the end here. So you could put A New Hope video, for example. This will now be the name of the database on the left here, okay? So that's how you control that. This is actually really, really important, and it took me ages to work out. Okay, so when it says something like put your input required, what you have to do, and I'll show you a little trick here, file, duplicate workspace. And then this will open up. You want to click on workspace like that, and then look for the name of the app you just made. And then in this case, it wants me to edit the .env. So I just click on .env and I add the input here. So obviously this does not have my completed URI. So we'll copy this and we'll put this here. Okay, obviously replace password with password. Once you've done that, just hit continue. Okay, so occasionally you're going to be given commands like this. Okay, so already we're encountering this. Okay, I didn't know if this was correct or not, so I just sent it as an error, but it's actually correct. Apparently, is what it just said. So what I'm doing is I'm quitting out of the app by doing Control-C, and then what you can do is you can run python main.py get created apps with steps like that, and then that will give you your app ID. So then what we want to do is we want to run python main.py app ID equals, and then paste the app ID like that. And then, did you make any changes? No, I didn't. And this time I'm going to say continue because I didn't actually know that it was correct here. It asked me to do this, I did it, and then it just gave me what looked like an error message, but it's actually correct. So, okay, so let's try our first little test here. So we'll just do R to run, and then we'll open up localhost. And we'll see what it actually wants us to do. So we'll go to /pricing. There was an error serving your request. Okay, that's fine. That means there's an error. That's okay. No problem. That happens. So yeah, we'll Control-C here. It will then stop the run. and it can already read its own error messages, which I think is really cool. So because I'm running it inside here, now I'm going to have a look at the GPT Pilot GitHub because I'm very, very curious. I had never seen this video before until just now. So I want to know what this is. I want this because it's kind of confusing the way that I'm doing it, and this looks better. So I'm gonna have a look at this after I finally finish this monster of a video. Okay, so remember just how oh, it's got all of them. I don't know how it's done that. Okay, I have no idea what. Okay, so it's fetched prices. Interesting. Oh, that's pretty cool, actually. So let's just say it's this one. So we'll click subscribe, and yeah, that's okay. Oh, yeah, it's a pretty big problem. So we'll Control C that. But yeah, that's pretty cool. This has never happened before. Normally, I have to give it the prices. Okay, so let's keep testing here. I realize what the problem is these are one-off prices. So I'll go with this instead because it's per month. Let's see if that works. There we go. Perfect. Already we're on. I don't know what that currency is, but already we are on the checkout for Stripe, which is pretty damn cool. Now, I do notice that I have to write my own email here, which is normally a bad sign that it's not working, but that's okay. Let's just put all of the test data in and just press pay here and see what happens. Now, for the last 2 hours, all I've been seeing here is red. Because I gave it the wrong documentation. I was trying to make a video with the wrong documentation for about 2.5 hours, and it was an absolute nightmare. So it looks like it's worked, which is pretty damn cool. So if we scroll up to see what it wants us to test so far, let's just keep scrolling. So what I want to do is I want to see what it's wanting us to test. So click on the subscribe button for any of the listed subscription options. Expect a result you are, yes, redirected. In the Stripe checkout page, fill in the payment details with test data 42424242. After submitting the payment details, you are redirected to a success URL in the server or console log or a predefined success rate. It might depend on specific implementation. Okay. So yeah, it does work. Up to the point where the tool thinks it's working. So we will say continue. Implement account creation and Stripe customer creation, modify the post, blah, blah, blah. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's do the next round of tests here. It wants us to make a new user. So I believe there should be an email here. Yeah, this should say email. That's fine. That's so easy to change that it's not even worth asking the tool to change it. You just need to change what it says. So instead of username, it should say email. Oh, that has not worked. So we'll Control C that, and we'll say, yes, please debug. Okay, so time to test. What was it? It's probably /auth register. Yes, it is. Register that. Oh, duplicate key. Oops. Obviously, this is not ideal because you would need some kind of system to make sure that this email is real and blah, blah, blah. But like just for now, just for what I'm practicing on. Okay, it does say user logged in successfully. However, it looks like there has been an error again. So we'll Control C that. I don't know what the error is. Also, I don't seem to be logged in. So, okay, so this time I've logged in and everything seems fine. I'm just going to quickly make a new account, make sure that that error from before has gone. I do recommend you do things like this just to make sure that everything is working properly. This should be registered. So I'm still expecting there to be an error here. Oh, no, perfect. So user registered successfully with Stripe customer ID. Beautiful. So now we log in. Beautiful. So sometimes you will have to scroll up to see what you're testing, to see whether you can say continue or not. So I'm just going to scroll up quickly. Just make sure that everything is working that it thinks is working. So let's just, I can't press my pause button on OBS because it's gonna take me all the way back down. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, I can already see that the custom ID has been made. It's fine, it's working. So let's Control C here. And then it's gonna say, is everything working properly? Unless it, yeah, perfect. And now I'm gonna write continue. And now we will develop the user dashboard. Okay, so this is quite an important test because we need to make sure that non-authenticated users cannot access our app, obviously. Now, like I said at the beginning, this is going to be something very, very basic, but I do think it's just so fun to play around with. And yeah, I just really, really want to show people this. So enter the current unit with an active subscription. But yeah, I mean, yeah. How do I know if they have an active subscription, mate? Basically. So let's actually just go on my DB real quick, and you can see a new Hope video users. We have a couple of users here, and none of them have is subscribed or is not subscribed. So how is anybody supposed to know, basically? So we'll go to /pricing here. And we will just quickly test this, even though I think it's not actually properly coded right now. 42424242424242. My name. Pay and subscribe. Let's see what happens here. This is probably going to work. It's just now is that user authenticated or not? That's the problem. Okay, so yes and no. Let's see, that probably won't work. Oh, so the dashboard is accessible by either using a direct link or by typing it. But you're taken to a dashboard page that displays subscription details. No active subscriptions found. If you see a message like no active subscriptions found despite having it on, there may be an issue with the dashboard implementation or the session management. Okay, now if I go on a incognito window and I do that, yeah, you are not authenticated. Okay, perfect. So, oh, but does that mean not logged in though? That's the real question. So let's just quickly check that. We need to check everything to make sure it's working properly. What's my username? What was it? Hamish4 at hamish4.com. So we'll log in. Oh no, that one is sorry, I need to log into any account. I really need to stop using so many weird passwords and things. Normally what I do is I put the username the same as the password, so that normally does work. So we'll log in here. Okay, what happens now if I go to /dashboard? Okay, it does show me it. But this user doesn't have a subscription. Okay, so there is something wrong here. I can clearly see what the problem is. So let's just send this. I can see what the problem is, but you guys might not be able to. The problem is there's no subscription status in the schema for the user. So the user schema does not have subscription status. Okay, let's run another test. We've been doing this for an hour and a bit now. I would have hoped to have been a little bit further on by now, but that's okay. 30 minutes of that was prep. So let's register a new account here, and we'll do Hamish at hamish.com. And we'll just set that as the password as well. And we'll hit register, and then we'll log in. Now let's log in again, because apparently that didn't work. Okay, so we are logged in, but if I go to dashboard, no active subscription. Okay, perfect. Right, so now we'll go to /pricing, and we'll select one of the per month products. And we'll do this, and we'll do this. Oops. Okay, and then pay and subscribe. See what happens here in the background. So checkout session created successfully. Okay, pause. This will redirect to a page that doesn't exist, but that's okay. Now, if I go to dashboard, no active subscription still. Okay, but we're getting somewhere at least. Still says no active subscription. Okay. So we'll control C this, and we'll say, please ensure that the success URL is working. It's 404, and the subscription status is not updating after purchase. Oh God, thank God. Right. Okay. So after a little bit of poking around, we are finally there. We have Stripe set up. You can see we have the plan here, $3.99 a month, user subscription status active. So if you're curious, what I did was I just sent it the user schema. So inside models, user.js, and I noticed that subscription status wasn't there, so obviously that's a necessary part. And I asked it to make sure that the email was being passed on to Stripe, and yeah, that pretty much worked. So we'll control C this finally, and if we refresh here, oops, you'll see subscription status active. Perfect. So now we can finally type continue. I don't know how far we're in. 66%. I think we've been recording for about an hour and a half. I'm not 100% sure. So now it creates the README, and we'll see what's next. Okay, so we now see a button with generate articles. So we'll just click this, and let's just say suits for men, and then generate. This is a simulator generated article. Perfect. And then we'll do /settings and see if this exists. It does not. Okay, we're getting pretty far, guys. Honestly, you can see that, I'm 31 minutes into the video. I think it was 8 something on here when I started. And, I've already got something that's pretty much ready to be an MVP. I just need it to actually generate content from my settings. But, I mean, that's something that's really not that difficult. So we'll say continue here. It's now going to add the create the article editing and download. The only thing that's missing that I asked it for was the settings. But yeah, we'll see if it does the settings as well. Okay, so one of the final steps here is that there is a download option. So perfect, there is a download option. Now all we really need is like the content to be relevant and also to have the settings page. Now I don't know if that's going to work right now, so let's say continue, and it might just say that the app's complete. Yeah, the app is apparently complete, even though there's not a single API call here to Claude, I believe. Let's just have a little look. Yeah, there's literally nothing to do with Claude anywhere. So what we're going to do here, I'm probably just going to release the video as is, but what I would normally say is, can you make the auto blogger and settings section so the content is actually relevant to the user as described in my prompt. So you're supposed to use Claude. To be honest with you though, like everything else is done. Stripe is set up, MongoDB is set up. Like this is almost secondary. You could easily just create any kind of system here that you wanted to. Okay, so to be honest with you guys, that's going to be the end of the video. The reason I'm stopping it here is because this is what I wanted to show you. How to set up a MongoDB and how to set up a Stripe. So the last thing I'm going to show you is how you can easily turn this into like an actual SaaS. So you have what I like to call the skeleton here, okay? So you have your autoblogger route, for example, and all that good stuff. So what you can do is you can take all of this and put it into ChatGPT or Claude or whatever it might be, and just ask it to make this into like to add the autoblogger element or whatever you're trying to do in terms of a SaaS. Now I know this is a little bit disappointing that I didn't get all the way through, but I'll tell you right now, I've done this a million times, and the actual content generation part of this is not the difficult thing. Okay, The actual difficult thing is getting it set up with Stripe and getting it set up with MongoDB. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this helps in some way, and I'll see you very, very soon with some more content. Peace out.